Close your eyes for a moment, not as a performance, not as a test, just as a small permission. And ask your heart one quiet question. When was the last time your mind rested without gripping a single worry? Maybe you can't remember. Maybe your mind has been running so long that stillness feels unfamiliar, like a room in your own house you haven't entered in years. Tonight, I'm not here to fix your life. I'm not here to solve every problem. I'm here to do something gentler. I'm here to help you set the heavy bag down, even if it's only for this one night, even if the world outside stays the same. Because here is the strange truth. Peace is not a prize waiting at the end of your checklist. Peace is not a reward you earn after you become perfect. Peace is a return to the place inside you that was calm before the story began. And if you stay with me, something subtle will happen. Your problems won't vanish, but their size will change. Their voices will soften, their claws will loosen. That is the prediction gap for tonight. You think peace requires a different life. But what if peace is possible inside this life, exactly as it is? So settle in. Let your shoulders drop by one small inch. Let your jaw relax like a door that doesn't need to stay locked. And let the night carry you as we walk through 7 gentle truths that quietly dissolve the habit of worrying, not with force, not with denial, but with clarity and with compassion. First, let's speak honestly about worry. Worry is not proof that you are responsible. Worry is not proof that you care. Sometimes worry is simply the mind leaving the only safe home it has. Right now, your body is here. Your bed, your chair, your room. The air around you, the soft weight of gravity, the simple fact of breathing. But worry is a little traveler. It packs its bags and runs ahead. It runs into tomorrow. It runs into what if. It runs into imagined conversations, imagined disasters, imagined endings. And your body, loyal and innocent, believes whatever picture the mind paints. A thought arrives like a tiger, and your chest tightens as if teeth are real. Your heart races as if danger is present. Your muscles brace as if you must fight or flee. So you spend life energy fighting a scene that does not exist. If you remember only one line tonight, remember this worry feeds on imagination and it shrinks when it touches reality. Reality is this moment. Reality is simple. Reality is breath. You cannot breathe yesterday. You cannot breathe next week. Breath only happens now. It is the most faithful teacher of the present. So take one slow inhale, not big, not dramatic, just real, and then let it go. As if you are exhaling a long-held opinion. Notice how the breath does not ask you to believe anything. It does not demand a plan. It doesn't require you to be strong. It simply arrives. And it leaves. and it keeps you here. If you want, place one hand gently on your chest. Feel the rise, feel the fall, like a small wave on a quiet shore, and say silently with kindness, right now I am breathing, right now I am here, right now I am safe enough. Even if life is messy, even if the future is unknown, this moment is not attacking you. This moment is holding you. And when worry returns, as it often does, don't scold it. Just guide it back, like you would guide a tired child back into the warmth of the house. Now, once you have one foot in the present, we meet the next truth. A truth that changes suffering at its root. Most of our pain is not the event. It is the argument with the event. Something happens, a message, a mistake, a loss, a delay, a rejection. And then the mind stands up and begins to protest. This shouldn't be happening. I don't deserve this. Why me? Why now? This is unfair. And the protest becomes a second wound. It's like being caught in the rain and then yelling at the sky until your throat is sore, as if anger could dry your clothes. Acceptance in the Dharma is not surrendering your dignity. It is not pretending that hurt does not hurt. Acceptance is the courage to stop lying to yourself about what is already true. Acceptance says, yes, this has happened. Yes, this is here. And now, what is the next wise step? When you stop wrestling, reality, you save enormous energy. You create space, and in space, healing can begin. Think of a tight fist. It aches because it is clenched. The moment you open it, the pain doesn't disappear instantly, but blood can flow again. The hand can breathe again. That is acceptance. It is not defeat. It is release. Tonight, if there is something in your life you have been arguing with for weeks or months, see if you can whisper one sentence. It is what it is, not as a bitter phrase, not as a cold wall, but as a door opening. It is what it is, and I do not have to add a war on top of it. Now we come to a lesson that is both simple and revolutionary. Not every thought is trustworthy. Some thoughts are helpful, some thoughts are wise, some thoughts are just noise, but the mind does not label them for you. It speaks with the same voice. So we believe everything. We treat every sentence in the head like a report from a reliable messenger. I'm not good enough. They're judging me. I will fail. Something bad is coming. I can't handle this. A thought appears and we sign our name under it. But in the Buddhist view, you are not your thoughts. Thoughts are events. They arise, they pass, they are weather. You are the sky. The sky can hold thunderclouds, but the sky does not become thunder. The sky can hold darkness, but the sky does not become damaged. So here is a practice for when the mind tells a scary story. Instead of saying, "I am worried," try saying, "I notice a worried thought." Just that small shift creates a little distance, a little breathing room. A worried thought is visiting. The mind is painting pictures again. This is the habit of fear. You don't have to fight the thought. You don't have to obey it. You can watch it like you watch a leaf float down a stream. If you want, picture your thoughts as lanterns drifting across a dark river at night. Some lanterns are bright, some are smoky, some wobble in the wind. But you do not need to jump into the river to chase each one. You can stand on the bank, you can breathe, and you can let them pass. This is mindfulness, not a rigid concentration, a gentle awareness, a soft smile that says, "I see you, mind. Thank you. You can rest now." And now we arrive at a comfort that the heart sometimes forgets. Nothing lasts, not even fear. When you are anxious, it can feel endless. When you are sad, it can feel permanent. The emotion fills the whole room of your body, and the mind concludes, "This is my life now." But look at the world. Is there any storm that never breaks? Is there any night that does not soften into dawn? Is there any season that does not shift? Everything changes. This is not cruel. It is merciful. Even the sharpest emotion has a lifespan. It rises like a wave. It peaks, then it recedes. So try changing the way you speak. Instead of "I am an anxious person," try "Anxiety is moving through me." Instead of "I am depressed," try "I am experiencing a heavy feeling." This is not denial. This is accuracy. Because you are not a permanent label. You are a living being, and feelings are visitors. Imagine sitting on a beach at night. The ocean is dark, but you can hear it. Waves arrive, waves leave. You do not command them. You do not need to. You just remember this wave will pass. This wave will pass. And I will still be here. If you are in the middle of a hard wave tonight, let that be your anchor. It will pass. You do not have to solve it while it is high. You only have to float. You only have to breathe. Now we step into a lesson for the ones who carry too much responsibility, the ones who feel like they must manage life itself. Let's talk about control. Many people believe worry is control. They believe if they worry enough, they will prevent bad things. They believe worry is a kind of protection. But worry is not protection. Worry is payment for a disaster that may never arrive. And even if the disaster arrives, worry will not have trained you. It will only have exhausted you. Life is a river. You are in a small boat. You can steer. You can read the current. You can avoid certain rocks. You can paddle when it matters. But you cannot control the wind. You cannot control the rain. You cannot force the river to flow according to your preferences. The Dharma asks a simple question. What is yours to do and what is not yours to do. Your effort is yours. Your intention is yours. Your honesty is yours. Your kindness is yours. The outcome is not fully yours. Other people's choices are not yours. Time is not yours. The world is not yours. So practice this gentle surrender. Do what you can. Then release what you cannot. Not as laziness, as wisdom. There is a kind of peace that comes when you stop playing the role of a god, when you stop trying to manage the universe, when you allow yourself to be human again. Try it right now with something small. On your next inhale, say, "I will do my part." On your exhale, say, "And I release the rest." Again, inhale, "I will do my part." Exhale, "I release the rest." Let the words sink into the body like warm tea. Now we arrive at one of the most healing lessons. Because many people suffer twice. They feel anxious. Then they judge themselves for feeling anxious. They say, "Why am I like this? Why can't I be normal? Why am I so weak? Why am I afraid of small things?" And the mind becomes a battlefield, not between you and the world, but between you and you. Tonight, let's offer a different approach. Be gentle with the anxious voice inside. That anxious voice is not your enemy. Often it is a protector that has forgotten how to rest. It is like a small child ringing an alarm bell too loudly, trying to keep you safe. If you scream at the child gets louder. If you shame the child hides and trembles. But if you kneel down and speak softly, the child begins to trust you. So, when fear visits, place your hand on your heart again and speak like a kind parent. Speak like a friend. "I know you're scared. Thank you for trying to protect me. You don't have to carry this alone. I am here." Notice what happens when you do that. The body responds to kindness. The nervous system listens to gentleness. Compassion is not a pretty idea. It is a medicine. And the most profound healing often begins when you stop fighting yourself and start holding yourself. Now, the final lesson is quiet, but it changes the direction of a life. Joy is not a reward. Joy is a daily practice. Many people say, "I will be happy when I finish this project, when I pay off the debt, when I fix my body, when my relationships are stable, when life calms down." But life rarely calms down completely. Life is movement. Life is weather. If you make joy dependent on perfection, you will postpone your happiness forever. The Dharma teaches a different way. Joy is gathered. Joy is trained. Joy is planted like seeds. You do not wait for a garden to appear. You plant one day at a time. You water one day at a time. You trust small growth. So tonight, practice collecting small joys, not big achievements. Small, quiet joys. The feeling of the blanket. The breath moving without effort. The sound of distant silence. The way your body is trying even now to heal. The fact that you made it to this moment. Gratitude is not pretending everything is good. Gratitude is noticing what is still good even when everything is not. And as you notice, the mind begins to shift. Not instantly, but gently, like a lamp turning on in a room that has been dim for a long time. Now, here comes a small twist, a soft turning of the teaching. Sometimes we think the goal is to remove worry completely. But what if the goal is different? What if the goal is not to eliminate the waves, but to become a shore that can hold them? Because the truth is, a mind without any worry at all is not always the sign of wisdom. Sometimes worry is a signal. Sometimes it is a request. Not a request to panic, but a request to pay attention. The practice is not to silence the mind by force. The practice is to listen without drowning. To ask, is this worry pointing to something I can address? If yes, take one small step. If no, release it back to the river. This is the middle way. Not ignoring, not obsessing, just seeing clearly. And clarity is soothing, because it ends confusion. It ends the fog of everything at once. It turns life back into one step, then another. So tonight, if worry shows up again, you can greet it like a messenger. Hello, worry. What are you trying to tell me? And then you can answer gently. Thank you. I will handle what I can, and I will let the rest go. Now let's bring all 7 truths together, not as a list, but as a single river of practice. You return to the present through breath. You stop arguing with what already is. You learn to question the voice of thoughts. You remember impermanence. You release the illusion of controlling everything. You speak kindly to the anxious part of you, and you practice joy as a daily seed. All of this is not a project. It is a way of being, and you do not have to master it tonight. You only have to taste it. So let the taste be simple. Let it be soft. Take another slow breath. Feel your body sink just a little more. If you are lying down, let the bed do the work of holding you. If you are sitting, let the chair be reliable. Let your hands rest. Let your face soften. Imagine your worries as stones you have been carrying in your pockets all day. One by one you place them on the ground beside your bed, not forever, just for now. This one is the work worry. Set it down. This one is the relationship worry. Set it down. This one is the money worry. Set it down. This one is the health worry. Set it down. This one is the future worry. Set it down. And as you set them down, notice that you can still breathe. Notice that the world does not collapse because you are resting. Rest is not abandonment. Rest is wisdom. Rest is how the mind remembers itself. Now imagine a small lamp in the center of your chest. Not a bright spotlight. A warm, steady lamp. Like a candle protected from wind. With every inhale, the lamp glows a little stronger. With every exhale, the lamp spreads warmth through your ribs, your stomach, your shoulders, your throat. And in that warmth, the anxious voice becomes quieter. Not because it is defeated, but because it is finally cared for. Let your eyelids be heavy. Let your breathing be natural. No forcing, no measuring. If thoughts rise, let them rise. If images come, let them come. You are not required to chase them. Just keep returning like a gentle tide returning to shore to the simple fact, I am here. And if you fall asleep, that is perfect. If you stay awake a little longer, that is also perfect. Because the real lesson is not about tonight alone. It is about tomorrow, and the day after, and the next time your mind runs ahead. Each time you notice, you come back. Each time you come back, you grow a little stronger, not the strength of clenched fists, but the strength of open hands. Now I will leave you with one final image like an open door. Picture yourself walking through a quiet temple garden at night. The air is cool. The stones under your feet are still warm from the day. A small bell hangs somewhere in the darkness. It rings softly when the wind passes, not to warn you, but to remind you. In that garden, there is a pond. The surface is calm, and on the surface a few lotus leaves float without effort. The lotus does not worry about the sky. It does not chase the moon. It simply rests on the water and opens when it is time. Tonight, you are like that lotus. You do not need to force your peace. You only need to return to it. So let the garden hold you. Let the pond hold you. Let the breath hold you. And as the night deepens, as your mind becomes softer, you may notice something quiet and surprising. The world did not become perfect, but you became lighter inside it. And tomorrow, when worry knocks again, you will remember the path. Not because you memorized it, but because you felt it. Breath, acceptance, distance from thought, impermanence, surrender, kindness, joy, a small lamp, a quiet garden, a return. Before you drift fully, let me share a small story, not to teach you, just to let your mind travel somewhere softer. There was once a person who carried a jar of water every day. They gripped it so tightly that their fingers hurt by noon. They watched every step, terrified they would spill. They blamed the road for being uneven. They blamed the wind for being rude. One evening, an old monk noticed and asked, "Why are your shoulders so high?" The traveler answered, If I don't hold it tightly, I will lose it." The monk nodded and said, "Come, walk with me." They walked to the river. The monk set his jar down on the sand and listened to the water moving. Then he filled a small cup and offered it. "Drink." The traveler drank. The water was cool. The mouth softened. The belly warmed. The monk smiled. "You see, even if you spill a little on the path, the river is still here. Life is still here. You are still here." The traveler looked down at the jar. For the first time, they realized fear was not protecting the water. Fear was stealing the walk. That is what worry does. It says, "Grip harder," and you obey until you forget you were made to breathe. So if your mind is gripping tonight, consider that you may be holding life too tightly, not because you are wrong, but because you care. Here is a small practice for tomorrow when worry tries to drag you away. Feel your feet. Soften your exhale. Name what is real. I am in my kitchen. I am in my car. I am washing my hands. I am drinking water. Reality named simply is like turning on a light. The monsters shrink, then offer one sentence of kindness. This is hard, and I can be kind to myself inside it. Now slow down again and return to the rhythm of night. Notice the pause between breaths, a tiny gap, a silence that doesn't need to be filled. Worry often feels like urgency, like you must do something right now, but most of life does not require panic. Most of life requires presence. So if you feel that urgency, imagine turning the volume knob down, not off, just down. If any part of you whispers, "But I need to think about this answer with gentle honesty," yes, I will think about it later, but not now. Now is for rest. You are allowed to postpone worry. You are allowed to take a break from solving. One more gentle thing before you let go. Imagine you are sitting beside a small fire, not a roaring fire, a calm one. The flames move slowly like they have nowhere else to be. Each worry you carried today is a twig. You don't have to analyze it. You don't have to explain it. You simply place one twig into the warmth and watch it change shape. A worry about someone you love. A worry about money. A worry about time. A worry about your own worth. The fire does not argue with the twig. It doesn't judge it. It just receives it and turns it into light. Now bring that same receiving to your body. Let your forehead smooth out. Let your eyes rest deep in their sockets. Let your tongue lie heavy and quiet. Let your shoulders melt downward as if they are remembering how to be unarmored. If the chest is tight, don't force it open. Just offer it space. If the stomach is knotted, don't wrestle it. Just breathe near it, like warming your hands near a lantern. And if your mind drifts into thinking, let it drift. Then guide it back, like you would guide a sleepy boat back toward the center of the river. Breath in, breath out. Nothing to prove, nothing to fix. Just this gentle returning. And now we return to the lotus. The lotus grows in muddy water. It does not demand the mud disappear. It rises anyway, slowly, silently. Your life may have mud, but your peace can still rise because you keep returning. So as the night continues, let your thoughts become fewer, like lights turning off in a building one window at a time. And if you wake later and worry is waiting, you already know what to do. You return, you breathe, you soften, you name what is real, you offer kindness, and you remember this feeling is not forever. Now let the last few words be simple. May you be safe. May you be held. May your mind be gentle with itself. May your heart feel lighter than it did a moment ago. Sleep now if sleep wants you. And if you wake later, meet yourself with the same gentleness. We will continue this journey again when the next night arrives and the lotus is ready to open one petal more.